Anders, let me step in there. The reason that we looked at Intrify and their simulation platform is because there's a difference in having a meeting, a discovery session, doing an assessment, and building a consulting document that ultimately goes on a shelf or goes in a drive, so that you have a checkbox to say, "Yep, we assessed it," and you're not actually accountable for any outcome, and you never actually discover where things don't happen. There's a saying in software development: innovation happens at the edge. The place where the customer touches your software is where you're going to find them doing unexpected things. And we've been able to translate that into an executive session in a boardroom. When I was at AWS, they had sessions specifically focused on executive innovation. So, hey, we need to look at product innovation, but we need to look at this from an executive lens, and then let product teams go figure out where to innovate, versus let's go build stuff and see if we can sell it or if it's valuable to the business. So, the kinds of gaps that show up. Nobody knows who owns the decision. You get to a decision in a simulation, and there's 4 choices, and they don't really fall squarely into any one organizational function easily. It's not buy this tool, sue this company, put out this tweet. It's more nuanced and more complex, and so you really do expose places where organizationally there isn't an owner. You're going to have to work together, or even better, when marketing wants to put out a customer-facing statement to soften the event, and legal says, you can't say that. That'll expose us to liability. We'll have to buy everybody credit monitoring for 2 more years, and see what happens. Or, security and operations. Emily likes to talk about data scientists typically don't understand IT operations. They understand, I need a database to do some data stuff in. And IT doesn't know what they're going to do, so they build a database. And then, okay, well, here's a database. Oh, well, I need this configuration. Oh, I need this permission. And there's back and forth to make it usable. So you start exposing, hey, you may be doing something that has an impact on both sides, but you're not optimized for either one. You need to go back and look at this process and say, hey, how do I do this? More importantly, the board's expectations aren't aligned with executives. The board says, hey, go do AI. And of course, they're going to be more nuanced, and they're going to be more boardy, and have the cool high level things to say. The CEO hears that and says, go build a chatbot. We need to get something done to check this box on the board. Nobody needs another chatbot. Just like I don't want a snowman, I don't want a chatbot. Or they have governance in Word docs, but it doesn't actually exist in practice. It's not manageable. Nobody's looking at what the outcomes are. And so a simulation really helps expose what are the things that we know how to do, but we've never actually had to build the muscle to do. This is a good way to practice, and it's a way to do it without having something actually either go wrong or go horribly right, and now you're behind the curve.
Yes, we're going to stay ahead of the curve.